Okay, I'm back for another day. Today we're going to work on Minimax. I got to the page, I set up a little bit, but I really haven't looked at this much, so let's get started. Minimax, given 5 positive integers, find the minimum and maximum values that can be calculated by summing exactly 4 of the 5 integers. So, okay, a couple things to note is that the array always has exactly 5 integers. Our minimum is going to be the sum of the smallest 4, and our maximum will be the sum of the largest 4. And then we're going to print, this looks like a typo, that should probably be 16 and 24 to refer back to that 16 and 24. So we're printing our min and then our max. Sample input, sample output. Okay, so what are we going to be doing here? Let's get started. That's the wrong screen. So function mini max sum is going to take an array. And the first thing that we're going to be doing is figuring out, well, can we sort it? Or what are the smallest numbers and biggest numbers? I've never sorted an array, so I don't think we can assume that the array comes in the right order. So sort an array JavaScript. Kind of want to do that because, so make sure that the array is in the right order. What I want to know is if there's a built-in way. Otherwise, the way that we can do it is just see kind of, this is rudimentary, but you've got your merge sort, your bubble sort, different sorts. And bubble sort would totally work, and it's very easy to implement. So we may end up going with that. But as I suspected, there's a sort array, or a built-in function. And let's see kind of how it would work. Points sort function A, that's not what I'm looking for. Sort descending. Array.sort JavaScript MDN. Okay, so definitely, and that's because 1 is less than 2, or rather 1 is less than 2, which is less than 3, which is less than 4, even though these aren't, although 4 is definitely less than 21. So it's really only looking at the first feature. Okay, so that's what we meant by function and compare function over here. Not sure that I totally get it yet, though. Okay, so we've got a helper function. All right, so in array
comes up here, and then I'm sorting it. And that should make sure that no matter what I'm doing, I'm always getting the order that I kind of expect. Let's just make sure of that, or we will make sure of that when I pass in an array that's not in order. Okay, so that's going to be what we ultimately test with. So at this point we should know what the order is. So then let mini sum equal, and then just going to set that equal to 0. Let max sum equal to 0. Okay, so I've used up half my time doing this, so let's keep going. Now what I want to be able to do is say for let I equal to 0, I less than an array dot length I plus plus. Now if I went with just this, I would go through the whole array, which is not what I want though, right? Because I know that what I'm actually trying to do is the first 4 items. So everything but the last item, and I can do it this way. Again, this is not ideal. Well, it will totally work. It's just not super dynamic, so I don't love it. But given the function is really to make sure that we're just summing the first 4 and then summing the largest 4, it's going to work because we know that the array is sorted at this point. So now mini sum plus equal to an array at the element I will work. And then for let j equal to an array dot length minus 1, and I'm actually going to decrement so that I don't have to worry about kind of going the other way. J greater than 0, j minus minus. Max sum plus equals an array of j. And let's take a look at that. So an array now we can see is in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this totally worked. Compare numbers, again, they kind of explain what's going on. Where was it? Here. Has the following form. It's basically returning true or false, and then dictating based on that, which very convenient. So just kind of used that, and it seems to be working. So now what I want to do is return mini sum. I don't know that I can just do that. I can't. So instead, wasn't sure if they wanted a console log or how they wanted this returned. Print two space separated long integers denoting the respective minimum and maximum. So that should do it. Let's give that a go in our okay. Awesome. So to recap, we started by just making sure that the array was in the right order. To do that, we had to figure out the built-in property of arrays called sort. Then I applied the compare numbers. I used this compare numbers function to do that. And then I set two variables, minisum and maxsum, equal to 0. And I incremented positively through an array from the first to the fourth item, and we know that it was 4 because the array is 5 items. We started at 0, and then I actually did a -1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. I actually goes from 0 to 3 because once it's 4, it's no longer this, and it will skip onto into the next for loop. And then they just wanted to print it out like that, and that's it. 10 minutes on the dot. Thanks so much.